Now, I might be setting myself up for a YouTube roasting here, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Now, I need to start this video by saying that this is in no way, shape or form a hate campaign against the Porsche 992. In fact, I absolutely love the 992. It's one of the best looking 911s ever made. It drives perfectly, it turns heads, and it has a real classy element to it. So why will I never buy one? Well, I'll get to that. But of course you don't need to listen to me. Who am I? Just another part-time YouTube Porsche fan who doesn't really have any exceptional skills, but what I do have is a real passion for anything Porsche related, and I think I've got a good idea on what represents good value money for the average man or woman. Now, I have driven the 992, I've driven a few of them in fact, and all of these cars that I've driven have all been around about the £110,000, £120,000 mark. And as most of you know, when you spec a car from new, once you start adding the really tasty options, it can easily add up to around about £15,000 or £20,000 above the original purchase price. Value for money? Well, I'll let you decide that. But what they do all have in common is that they are seductively delicious. They sound tremendous, they drive beautifully, they feel well built, and they demand attention everywhere they go. They're just a really, really classy sports car. But hang on, haven't I also just described my Porsche Cayman and my Porsche 911 997? You see, my 997, the yellow one, is probably worth around about £40,000. My Cayman here, roughly £35,000. Meaning that if I was to upgrade from a 997 to a 992, I'd still have to sell my 997 and then still pay an additional £80,000 to get the shiny new 992 that I would want in my spec. And the question is, when driving the 992, would I honestly get £80,000 more worth of fun than the 997? Considering that when I'm currently driving my 997, my enjoyment levels are in the region of 90 to 100% every single time. And yes, I know there's much more going on here than just numbers. The 997 and the 981 cars, they are getting a little bit older. They need to be maintained, whereas the 992 will just work first time, every time for a long, long time. But to me, that's also a massive part of Porsche ownership. Working on it, maintaining it, swearing my face off at it when it doesn't work like it should. And if I sold the 997, I'd lose all of that. I'd almost feel like I'd lost or sold a bit of my identity. And I think the reason why I made this video is because I work my arse off. I put solid shifts in, so when the financial rewards are there, I do like to freshen things up now and again. But when I listen to myself going through everything that I've just gone through, everything that I've just said, I have to say I'd probably be mad to spend that additional money and actually upgrade to a 992 when I've got everything I want from my sports cars in the 981 and the 997. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now, it is a little bit presumptuous of me, of course, to say that I'll never buy a 992, because who knows what lies around the corner. Maybe in 10 years time, when the prices are lower and they represent a little bit better value for money, then of course, sure, I could see myself driving a 992, but until then, I'm perfectly happy driving my 997 and my 991, and I'll continue to drive the wheels off these cars until they won't go anymore. Now, I hope that all makes sense, and I'd be very interested to see or hear what you guys have to say about that, given that I know a lot of you guys do have the 981s and the 997s, even the 991s. Where do you stand on upgrading to a 992 based on what you've already got and based on the amount of money you would have to pay to buy a new 992 or even a used 992, which, let's face it, the prices of those cars are in the region of around about 90, 95 to £100,000. That's for the lower end of the scale. So you guys as well would probably have to put a lot of money into a 992 to upgrade. Is it worthwhile? Is it value for money? I'd be really happy if you could put a comment in the box below and let me know your thoughts on that, and see if you can understand where I'm coming from, if you think I'm right or if you think I'm mad. Either way, I'd be happy to hear from you. Guys, thanks for watching. This video is done.